You are sitting across the table, and the conversation suddenly turns hostile. Instantly, your biological stress response kicks in. Your heart rate spikes, your chest tightens, and a sudden urge to talk fast takes over. In that panic, you concede your leverage. To reverse this reaction and control the room, we will walk through a 5-step behavioral framework. This sequence is modeled directly after the hyper-calm demeanor of the Peaky Blinders protagonist, Tommy Shelby. To see why these tactics hold up under pressure, we have to look at the extreme volatility of his environment. Running an empire in post-World War I Birmingham meant daily exposure to severe threats. His operations required managing massive, illegal gambling rings, where a single miscalculation cost thousands of pounds. Stakes escalate directly into negotiating with international mafias and bartering stolen jewels with the Russian elite. One bad choice meant a family member took a bullet. If precise emotional regulation can dictate life or death outcomes in an underworld empire, you can apply those exact mechanics to command a corporate salary negotiation. Step 1 of this framework happens long before you enter a boardroom: daily grounding. It requires exactly 10 minutes of tech-free, silent breathing every single day. This is a physical maintenance routine. By doing this daily, your nervous system's baseline tension drops. When the conflict eventually hits, your brain has the capacity to speed up and strategize, rather than freezing in place. Shelby's real-world composure was forged through the severe trauma of the trenches in the First World War. He survived by forcing his mind to become highly organized amid chaos. Step 2 is weaponizing silence. The moment someone makes a hostile demand or tries to corner you, you do absolutely nothing. You stop talking. Human beings are biologically wired to feel immense discomfort in conversational voids. When you refuse to speak, the other person will instinctively try to fill that empty space. The fatal flaw most people make here is rambling out of fear. The moment you start over-explaining yourself just to break the silence, you hand all your leverage directly over to your opponent. Controlling the pace of a high-stakes conversation begins by actively refusing to respond on their timeline. You let them talk, you listen, and you gather data. Step 3 targets how you gather that data, using open questions. This flowchart illustrates what happens when you ask a closed yes or no question. You hit an immediate dead end that kills the momentum of the negotiation. You must replace those with how, what, and who prompts. As you can see, forcing your opponent to speak in paragraphs opens up an interconnected web of data points you can use to your advantage. Even with good questions, you might still get backed into a corner by a sudden aggressive demand. Your counter tactic here is breaking their expectations. Instead of answering the trap directly, perform a calm, methodical action, like slowly pouring a drink or organizing your papers. You physically change the subject and bleed the pressure right out of the room. By relying on open questions and deflecting traps with physical pauses, you shift the dynamic. You go from being the subject of an interrogation to the leader of an investigation. Step 4 focuses on vocal control. When panic steps in, it physically constricts your vocal cords, which causes your voice to become fast, high-pitched, and erratic. You need to consciously override this reflex. Actively drop your vocal register to a deeper pitch and reduce your speaking pace by exactly 20%. This triggers unconscious mirroring. A slow, deep, and deliberate voice literally forces the hostile opponent's nervous system to match your calm rhythm, diffusing their aggression. Step 5 anchors your physical presence, the look up eye contact rule. Sustaining unbroken eye contact is necessary to assert dominance in the room. However, there is a biological limit. Staring becomes excruciatingly uncomfortable after about 2 to 3 seconds, triggering a primal fight or flight response in both of you. The critical failure point happens when the pressure peaks and you instinctively look down. Dropping your chin universally signals submissiveness and defeat. Your tactical exit is to intentionally break eye contact by looking slowly up or to the side. This frames your break in focus as pondering a strategic thought rather than fleeing the pressure. Your vocal pacing and calculated eye contact completely override the actual words you are speaking. They communicate unquestionable authority on a primal, biological level. The complete toolkit is straightforward. Establish a low-tension baseline with daily grounding. Deploy tactical silence. Extract data with open questions. Dictate the pace with vocal control. And hold dominant eye contact. When you stack these behaviors, the end state is profound. Time slows down, giving you ultimate clarity while everyone else rushes. Start implementing this today. Carve out 10 minutes for silent breathing and test the look-up eye contact rule in a low-stakes conversation this afternoon. Drop a comment below telling us which character's body language you want analyzed next, and subscribe to the channel for more masterclasses on nonverbal strategy. True influence does not require aggression. It requires mastering your own internal chaos so you can command the chaos of others.